Greetings friends and welcome to another video in this YouTube channel. So today I have very exciting news. Maybe you've been following me on Twitter, you have seen it, or LinkedIn. I just purchased the Jetson Orin Nano, with this new update that is called Super. I'm very excited. It's a great machine. You're pretty much your personal AI supercomputer, if you want to call it. It has been really powerful, and I am just here to show you the first steps to do it. You know, the unboxing and so on. And what it's a bit more tricky, the setup, to be at least the first step with the SD card and so on. Maybe it's just me, but I received a unit with a very old firmware. And although it wasn't difficult to do all of these steps, if you follow the official guides, it just took me quite some time to comprehend and to understand what to do and what was happening and so on, and even some hidden tricks that I just found on some forums. So I tried to put all of that together and on this video. So if you face the same problems as I did, maybe this video will be helpful for you. That's what I'm trying to do here today. But let's go to the with unboxing over here. So as you can see, the unit, it came the Jetson Orin Nano developer kit, right? It's came very well packaged. That's the with the serial number and so on. It comes with all of this: 1024 core NVIDIA Ampere architecture, 6 core, 8 gigs of RAM, and multiple ports. It came as well with this useful manual. It doesn't say anything about the SD and so on with the firmware. It comes with the transformer, UK and Europe plug as well. In my case, it came with the Europe one, and this is the unit, right? Look at how beautiful the unit is. We have all of the expansion ports over here. We have a very nice fan on top of a heatsink. We have some more connections here that for expansion, and then here what do we have? So we have the power connector, and then we have the display port, 4 USBs, and one RG45 and an USB-C as well. And then at the bottom, we do have as well to connect here like an M2, one of the short ones, and we do have as well one M2 SSD for the for the long one as well. The SD card goes under the fan. We're going to take a look at that in a second. Let's go and install our SSD card. Well, our SSD NVMe that I purchased here in Amazon. Nothing fancy. The cheapest one. And then you can see the SD card goes right here. It was very tricky. Maybe it's because I have, you know, a very fatty fingers, but it was a bit tricky to put the SD card over there. You remember that it needs to go up. You see, I just have the 3.0 and then very old firmware. It tells me that it's 2 gigs of RAM, 2 gigahertz of power, no RAM. So let's go to the boot options anyways and change the boot order. So this was my first thing that you see. It was the make sure that the SD device, it's the first one, and then save it. Because as soon as I put the plug the NVMe SSD, that was the first one to boot up. The other thing we need to change is something very tricky. It's in Device Manager and NVIDIA configuration. And inside NVIDIA configuration, we need to go L4T configuration. Can you see the OS chain A status that is unbootable? We need to change that for normal, not this one. Let me go and show you. It is on the OS chain A status. Here, put it to normal, and then we can save. And remember, now we are going to need to boot up with the SD card with the oldest firmware, which is with the image that it says Jetson Orin Nano Developer Kit JetPack 5.1.3. That is the one that we need to load in our SD card. and as soon as we have changed that on the BIOS and we load, remember, the Jetson Orin Nano Developer Kit JetPack 5.1.3 image, this is what we are going to see. It's even like an older version of Ubuntu for the splash image that I can see over there. So let's go here. We need to go through the whole installation on the SD card of this version, the 5.1.3, because we are going to need to do additional steps. Nothing out of the ordinary. I do recommend you to connect to an Wi-Fi or connect the RG45 to have internet. That's the bottom line, right? It's going to help us with the whole process. Sorry if it's a bit shaking, the recording. It's a bit shaking because I was typing with one hand and trying to record with the other one. If you do have like like a camera connector, a camera capture, right? That will be much easier, right? One of the Elgato ones, for example, USB ones. So you don't need to connect to a monitor itself. You can connect it to your PC and then, well, open OBS and see what's happening on the on that with the capture. But I don't have any capture card right now. Anyways, just install Chromium, typical things. Although we're not going to use it just yet, not in this temporary step that we need to do, because again, what I think it came on my case, it was a very old firmware loaded, very old. So that's what we need, this step in the middle. If you have what you will see in a few minutes later on, the like an advanced firmware, you do not need to do this. But in my case, if you boot up for the first time and you see that that number, then you need to do these steps, sadly. So okay, yeah, it is installing. Let's remember if you see from something like 3.0 and then minus a number, it's usually 32616,947. You need to do these steps. All right, so now we're here. It loaded, as you can see, very nice with the whole Jetson Nano on the back, all the NVIDIA thing. It's very powerful with the NVIDIA logo there in all of these electricity rays and so on. Very fancy. Few things to check. We can go to the power mode. This is what we need to see, by the way. If you see this is very good news. It's telling you that the L40 bootloader post installation, it has been pushed. So the firmware update. Anyways, we can just I just wanted to show that the on the power you do not have all the modes that we need. But anyways, let's go and restart. And on this restart, you are going to see something like this, right? So you're going to see this image a few times, this firmware upgrade itself. You just need to wait and see until it finishes, right? So do not touch and do not do anything. Now we have 5.0 and then another number, 36094,991. So it's detecting much better RAM. Now it says even NVIDIA Orin Nano. So that changed as well. Before it was something different that I don't have. We need to do some extra steps still on the with Wi-Fi, by the way, with internet access. We still need to do some steps. Sudo nvboot ctrl and then dump -lots -info. We need to see the current version, 35.5. We're still down below what is recommended. So again, we have not changed the SD card. We have not done anything, just a reboot, right? And then we need to do sudo apt-get install NVIDIA L40 Jetson Orin Nano QSPI updater. You have all the details here or in the blog that you can find down below in the description of the video. And remember, this step requires internet access and is going to do install it and prepare the firmware. Another reboot and another firmware upgrade. So you can see it's happening. Second update right now with the same SD card, with the remember, with the Jetson Orin Nano 5.1.3 image. It's the same image that we loaded in the SD card, and we are just doing a few reboots and doing the steps that I just mentioned. Right now is 36.3.0, which is much better. 36.3.0, so you can see over here. And if we don't do anything, we just let it run, and it even says I have a more megs of RAM for some reason. But anyways, if we just let this finished with the same SD card, it is going to fail, right? So it's going to it's just going to stop. So at this specific point in time, you need to take the SD card out, put it into your Windows, Linux, whatever you have, and then download the. Now you need to download the new image, which is the 6.1 image, and do it with Balena, for example. In my case, I've been using Balena Etcher on Windows. You need to load that image into the SD card, overwrite whatever you had from that 5 before, and put this new Jetson Orin Nano Development Kit JetPack 6.1 Revision 1 image, right? Put that on the SD card, and then let's see what is happening, right? It's booting now. Okay, this is with the new SD card, and okay, now we can see the jellyfish. So that's a modern Ubuntu version as well. By the way, we need to go through the whole process of same as we have done before. Go through the language, go through the time zone, network, partition, and so on and so forth, right? We're not doing anything just yet with the SSD that we install. That's going to be for another video for other steps. Okay, let's connect to the Wi-Fi. Again, a bit tricky with just one hand, but yeah, okay, let's put here the password, and we can continue. Okay, can connect, and from here, usual step, right? Continue. Let's see now. Yeah, time zone. You can just click wherever you are on that time zone, and then username and password, and computer name as well, right? So I'm just going to put this, so later on when I'm doing Telegraph or other things, I can just understand what this machine is. Okay, yeah, a bit short, and I'll change the password later for this user. It's not important, right? It's not to the internet or anything. Partition size, we'll let everything to take the whole SD card. SD card, I just have, by the way, 256 gigabytes of SD card, and then I have just like what was it? I think it was one terabyte. I don't remember the SSD, but that's completely up to you. The SD card I recommend to be a bit big, and then the SSD, well, whatever you have around, or depending of how many models you are going to load, you're going to need less or more space. Of course, that is that's just obvious, right? Okay, the installation process will finish, and it will boot once again. So it has been already a lot of boots. I know, I understand. I'm with you. I've been doing this with you. So, but this finally, I think we just need maybe one more reboot right after this, because even when we do this, we are going to need to do one extra step. So that's good. We are in the newest on the newest operating system. It's just that the firmware is not yet where it needs to be to have the super mode, right? The we should see under the power mode the max N mode, right? To take more consumption, and then at the same time with that more consumption is just giving more horsepower. So I mean, we can quickly take a look. It's 15 watts right now, but then we can change at the moment only to 15 watts, 7 watts, and that's it, right? We cannot do anything else. We should see another mode here once we upgrade the firmware. So it just becomes the Jetson Orin Nano Super, right? We are going to see the same message as we saw before about the pending firmware upgrade. So that is nice. And then I think at the same time we are going to, before this last reboot, we need to do one step more, which is very simple. On the terminal, sudo rm minus rf the etc nvp model.conf, right? So we're going to do it. Again, all the details you can copy paste. They are okay. The upgrade, no updates now. They are in the description. We put the password here for root, and then well, for the user, because the user it can do sudo su, and then sudo reboot, and then this is, guys, the final reboot that we need to do, and we'll be ready. So let's take a look, right? So we were already on the 36 firmware, but we weren't quite on the last one, right? So let's take a look. Okay, it's doing this last firmware upgrade, right? We are in the 36.3.0, as you can see. So okay, let's accelerate a bit of this, and then there we are. We are on the latest one, and now with on here we should see on the power mode max n as well. So that's going to take the maximum performance of our Jetson Orin Nano, and with this unlocking of maximum performance, now we can just run better models, bigger models, and do the most out of it, out of this device. I'm super happy. Uh, we are going to do more tutorials soon regarding how to install, Olama, and on there I put in some different LLMs. All of the beauty of this is that everything is going to be in this unit, right? Not using the internet later on. I mean, for the LLMs or anything, it just we download the LLM, and the LLM runs locally, securely, and private on your own NVIDIA Jetson Orin Nano. Very powerful, super nice. I'm really impressed. Perhaps less impressed of how NVIDIA, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the retailer, I don't know. I think it's probably NVIDIA sending these units with this very old firmware. I understand they may have it in stock and so on and so forth, but this is a bit painful for less for less advanced users to write the on the SD card one or twice. That's easy because you just put Balena and that's it, right? But then running some commands here, running some commands there, that BIOS thing that I found on some forums, and that without it wasn't booting, that it was quite tricky as well. So hopefully this video is going to help you to if you have that old firmware that on the unit, same as I do. Hopefully this is going to help you with the initial setup. Again, it took me quite few hours to to finally be able to login into this into the terminal and having this latest firmware, so I can choose the maximum performance. But now it's all done, and I hope you like the video. And if that's so, please leave some comments. If you have the unit, what are you planning to do with it? If you don't have it, what would you like to do it if you get one? And yeah, it was a pleasure to be here with you for this time. Hopefully it's useful. Thanks so much. See you in another videos. Bye.